before you do any crystal healing sessions for yourself or for others, there are a few things that you should be aware of, in my opinion. Okay, this is all very subjective. It is only based on my experience and what I have done for me and for my friends and my family members. Okay, so you have to create a relationship with the crystal. The first crystal session that you have, you will not feel anything.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
Unless you are extremely intuitive or extremely sensitive that you feel it right away. So do not be disappointed, but that does not mean that the crystal healing is not happening. It will take a few sessions before you start to feel the difference. So just give yourself some time, be open to the experience, and just enjoy it. The next thing is that you shouldn't just stop with crystals when you do crystal healing sessions for yourself and for others. I have seen so many times that online people do a crystal healing session and it's literally you lay down there and they put the stones on you. And for me, although like I said, it is very subjective, there's more to that. Okay, crystals are not the only thing that can help you balance out your chakras. There are many things that can work along with the crystals: music, herbs, oils, I mean, you name it. There's so many things that you can use them to your advantage, and sometimes they're just practically free. Go to your backyard, use, I don't know, plants, flowers, anything. Get creative. Saying so, as a crystal healer myself, it is always important to just listen what the client is telling you and what they're asking for. The same thing goes for you. If you are doing crystal healing for yourself, just write it down and just write down your frustrations and you will see a pattern. For instance, what usually happens to me is never really planned. It's not like my friends come and be like, hey, can you do a crystal reading for me or a crystal healing session for me? No, it is usually a conversation and they'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? And usually what happens is that we think that we know what we need, but we actually don't. For example, let's say that you are talking to a friend. Like I said, this will come if you heal yourself or you do sessions for you. People just know, okay? So it just comes up in conversations, right? And let's say that they're saying, oh my God, I just want my third eye to be activated so I can be more connected to the world and the spiritual world and to the nature, da da da. But then you also see them in other conversations that they're like, oh my God, I just feel like I don't know where I belong. I feel like I'm always alone. I'm always going from job to job. I don't find what is the right thing for me. So that's more into the root chakra because they're not really grounded. So technically, you do not need to get your third eye activated. You need to get your root chakra back in balance so your chakras can flow smoothly. So each chakra is like a door, right? So once you have gained the necessary things for that chakra to function properly, the door will open and then it will be easier for the next one to open. And it keeps going and going and going. Like I said, foundation, creativity, your confidence level. How do you express yourself with others emotionally? Do you love yourself? Can you express yourself? Can you speak your truth? Are you being authentic to yourself and others? And then we can work on the third eye, because how can you work on the third eye when you're not being authentic with yourself and others? How do you become authentic with yourself and others when you don't even love yourself? You understand?
You cannot be for real. Oh my God, you for real? No, you for fake. No, you for real. You lying? You not?
How do you love yourself without being confident yet? So it's just, it keeps going. It's all connected to one. You will find people that will charge you. Oh, don't worry, I can open your pineal gland for $200. And it's like, okay.
You need to be locked in prison for a very long time. You need the internet taken away from you. You are a danger to society.
You pay, because you don't know any better, no offense, and we don't know any better because we just want it so bad. We just want to see everything. And it's like, it takes time. Like I said, a guideline, it should be. Life is not like that. 7 years for each. So technically, by the time you're here, you should be like, what, 50, 52? You can go ahead and do the math. Let me see. 49, I'm sorry. You'll be 49 years old. And this is where you can probably say, okay, well, I think I got to figure it out. Okay, so it takes time. You will have people that will say, oh, don't worry, I can go ahead and open your third chakra. They go ahead and charge you, and guess what? You're not going to see anything. You're not going to feel anything because they didn't work on the other chakras, okay? So a good practice to have with yourself and others is that go back to the basics. How do you feel about your foundation? How do you feel? You see, ask the right questions for yourself and others, and you should be fine. So the next thing that you're going to do after you write down the issues that you're having or the client's issues, you are going to scan the body. You can do this with your hand, with your left hand, and if you feel warmth, if you feel really cold out of nowhere, that's where usually the chakra that needs most help on. You can also use a pendulum. You can go ahead and use a pendulum to the body and just ask it, okay, which chakra needs to be worked on, and it would let you know. If you need to know more about pendulums, please let me know. And then from there, you just get started. So where most people stop is, for instance, let's say that, and the crystals I'm going to put, is they're funny. They were not meant for this. But let's say that the heart chakra is imbalanced, right? This is what they do. They put it there and that's it. And they wait, they charge the customer, and they're like, okay, that's it. Your session is done. Thank you for your service or whatever, blah, 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 right?
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Yeah, the crystal is always going to do its job, right? But you should do more than that, even for yourself, because energy is very sticky, especially low energy, okay? So what I like to do, there are many things. Some people use herbs. They will literally like, let me see if I can find something. You can use sound tools. I started literally with black pepper. Here we go. You see? You don't have to be so fancy. And you start to move it. You start to move it in the body. You move it everywhere. You move the energy. Okay? You do all that throughout the body. It is not mandatory, but it is extremely helpful. Okay? What else? You can do energy extraction, which is literally... Energy extraction is with a vocal. It will be ideal with a vocal, but I don't find mine. Like I said, I just wanted to sit here and share with you guys, so I wasn't really prepared for this. So you just take the energy. You take the energy, and then you release it to Mother Earth. You can put a little pot with soil next to you. I mean, get creative, guys. Get creative with yourself, with others. There are many things that you can do. You can use music too. There are very good music out there. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So once you feel a little bit lighter, or the client feels a little bit lighter, or just ask them, hey, do you feel lighter? Do you feel better? Do you feel, I don't know, it's almost like the sensation that you should feel afterwards is almost like you have been lifted, okay? Almost like you're floating on water, okay? So that's when, in my opinion, that's when you should start the crystal healing, okay? Because I feel like it will be easier for the stone to do what it needs to do when the energy has been moved, has been almost like, let's move all the layers that you have. Let's put the stone so it can work better with you, and that's when you do. So then this is a moon stone, so it is associated with the high priestess. It is for your crown chakra. It is also associated with the moon. So the moon in astrology is associated with your environment. So just find the stone that you need or that you are attracted to that can give you also an insight what chakras you need to focus on. Okay, so then you will put the stone on the person's body, or you just have them to hold this. This is the root chakra. This will be above their body, above their head. I'm sorry, not their body. It will be like up here, right? I will put it something like that. And then you will go ahead and put another one to just almost like connect them, right? So this is the crown chakra. Let's connect the throat chakra. Has to do with throat chakra. Let me put something smaller. Throat chakra, and then let's connect the solar plexus. Of course, I don't have, let me see if I have anything here. Solar plexus, and then you connect the root chakra. It's almost like you're connecting all the chakras together. Okay, so whichever chakra you start first, you just leave one in the center, and then you go ahead and connect the others. This is how I do crystal healing for myself. Okay, and it has always worked for me. It doesn't have to be this way. This is just a way of doing it. And then you leave it there no more than 15 minutes. Start with 15 minutes. Some people may get a little bit lightheaded. Just check in after 15 minutes. I think to start as the first session, it should be 15 minutes to 30 minutes, no more than that. And as they are just meditating and taking in all the energy of the crystal itself, you can be working on energy extraction. You can be working on other things that that will help them after they do the crystal healing. Okay, don't just sit there and wait for the crystal to do its job. Okay, your job as a crystal healer, transfer the energy that comes from the universe and that comes from the crystals to your client, but the crystal itself would do its job. Now let's talk about crystals just for a little bit. I will scratch just the surface just to give you an idea what are you working with. Okay, so it is important that you create a relationship with your crystals. Okay, if you're going to do crystal healing for others, do not mix those crystals for yourself. It doesn't matter how many times you clean it. I wouldn't do it. Okay, because like I said, you have to build a relationship with your crystals. Okay, so do not confuse that relationship. It's either going to be for you or it is going to be for other people. Not only that, depending where you got the crystal, the country, the mind, how is the mind, that all affects how the crystal would feel on your body or the other person. Of course, if this crystal is mined in the old world versus the new world, it will almost have like that grandmother feel. And I say grandmother because this smooth stone is a feminine stone. And if you get it here in the new world, you will feel a different energy than if you will get it on the other side of the world. So just to give you an idea, you can use crystals anywhere as long as there are at least 12 inches from your body, which is what they believe how far your aura goes. You should be good to go. You can put them next to you on your desk. You can meditate with them. You can put them anywhere. As long as they are close to you, you should be fine. What else? You shouldn't let anybody touch your crystals. I know that it is very hard when you have children in the house, when you have family members. This is why I often keep my stuff in a room. But it is very important, or at least if you're going to expose it, maybe put it in the living room or somewhere, it's important that you at least put a protection spell or do like a little ritual to make sure that whoever touches that, it is pretty much the intention is not broken. Okay, when it comes to crystal healing, you should also be mindful of the shapes of the crystal because it does matter. You can also go to my website, sacredowlhealers.com, where you can download a free cheat sheet where it shows all the crystal shapes and their meanings. It does matter. Okay, the healing itself, it will still take place, but how the energy is spread will be different. So for instance, a sphere is very wide, is broader, you get me? So if you need to use this to expand it somewhere farther than yourself, or maybe you just need the energy to be spread in general, a sphere is very, very good for you. If you are trying to have a more fixed energy, an obelisk is very good for you because the energy is direct. It just goes up and down. It's not really spread. Okay, what else? Use shapes to your advantage as well. So going back to the course, the clear course that I had, this is mostly to open or slow down chakras, okay, because the energy is spread that way. Your chakras will be constantly, let me go back to this. Your chakras are always trying to be back in balance with your body and with yourself, because things will go on and they would run smoothly in the body, okay? But guess what? We're human beings. Things happen to us. Today, I may activate your throat chakra and things are moving smoothly, and now you can express yourself authentically. And then tomorrow, something happens in your life, and guess what? You go back to the old habits because it's so much easier to do that.
Right! That's it! I have had enough! Enough! You get out!
Okay, so it's constantly trying to get back to normal. A world balanced chakra is constantly moving clockwise. Okay, the lower they are, the bigger they are, and the slower they are. And then it goes like this, okay? Like that. And as we get, it goes faster and faster and faster and faster. Okay, but what happens is that life gets in the way, and then now maybe your root chakra is going right, but something happened here. Maybe you cannot express yourself sexually, maybe you cannot create. And when I mean create, I do not mean having children. What I mean about is like to be creative with projects, not being able to maybe imagine the life that you want creatively, or maybe with your family as well. Or okay, fine, maybe the sacral chakra is in a good spot, but then now you have your solar plexus. You were maybe a leader of your team, and then someone challenged you. Now you're questioning yourself and your confidence. Now that's stuck. So then that's gonna slow down even more, which guess what affects the heart chakra, and that it will affect the throat chakra, and it keeps going. This is what I mean. Is like you may think that you only need crystal healing for one thing, but you don't, because they all have to be aligned to work properly. Okay, so now let's say that it's been 15 to 30 minutes. You're done with the session, remove the stone, and now you need to, if it's for you, slow down. Okay, for you to ground yourself, because you may feel lightheaded, you might have a migraine, as a matter of fact, or you may just feel dizzy, okay, because you have been moving a lot of energy. It's just get up slowly and have something to eat. That is the fastest way for you to ground yourself or to ground others. So go ahead and give them something to eat, or go to nature and go ahead and take a shower. So that's another way for you to do that. So once you're done with your crystal healing session, you're pretty much going to do the same thing that you did at the beginning, but backwards. So you're going to sage the space or clear the space with anything that you have. It could be a sound tool. I have this stone here. You can also run some sage again to yourself and to the person if you're doing it for somebody else. clear their energy. While we clear our space, I want to let you know that I will be launching a service in March where I will be doing crystal healing. So if you're interested, please sign up for the wait list because you have the chance to win a complimentary session with me. Stay tuned. You can journal how you feel or how you didn't feel and just write things down. You can ask some questions to your client if you do this for someone else. And yeah, these are the basics of crystal healing. I mean, like I said, I just scratched the surface. There's so many things that you can go down the rabbit hole. You can go down perfumes, oils that you can use, herbs. I mean, you can do crystal grids while you're doing this. There are so many things that you can include in your sessions. Okay, so well, that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos, and like I said, I will try to bring a few videos to you guys on a monthly basis just to give you an idea of what I'm working on. The reason why I started with this is because I'm going back to my roots and my foundation, and this is how I started technically Sacred Owl. So here we go. Thank you guys. Bye bye.